weird. Beautiful.
Weird sensations.
Inside the body. Yes. Something feels like a stirred up. Yes. You seem to be quite calm to me.
Yeah, I'm calm, but inside it's weird.
Yes.
Like there was a moment which from calmness it went to like anxiety and really like a lot of like things here.
Yes.
And I felt my heartbeat like really pumping.
This is very beautiful. And you see why it's happening, because we have used to function so much into this kind of personhood mode that we are so closely associated with our body and our kind of self-image, what we have created about ourselves in our mind, yes. And we have lived with this for we don't even know how long, yes. And when you step out, what sometimes can happen, this mechanism of body-mind functioning, it kind of can feel a little bit like threatened, yes. And somehow, what's going on? It's a bit like this. But to me, what you're saying is a proof that you can really witness. If your body and your sensations start to act like this, for me it is just a very clear sign that you are stepping out, you see. Yeah. Because you can witness all of that, right? And the witness itself, is it somehow deeply impacted by these feelings? No, right?
Yeah, I understand, but it's hard to like take out, like observe feelings that you are so, that you can feel. It's not something that is just like, I can feel it. Yeah, no, it's challenging.
Tell me again, what is challenging?
For me to step out of feeling it and being it to observing it.
Okay. Why is it challenging?
Because I can feel it, it doesn't feel nice.
Yes.
To have like anxiety or stress like in your belly and your chest. So stepping out of it is like, I don't know, it's like it's hard to grasp.
But if you see, if your house, for example, something just goes really wrong, inside of your house, and just some fire appears, and smoke and fire, and so what do you think would be the best strategy for yourself when you see that, and also you see this is kind of happening? Not much I can do, to step out, right? Yeah.
So what should I do if my body is sending stress signals when I do it? So just try it again.
Try to acknowledge a fact that you as a witness, that you are not stressed. but there are stressful feelings appearing and felt inside the body. But try to really confirm with your own experience that the place where you are looking from, just this pure witnessing, it itself is not anxious. And if you can confirm it very clearly, yes, then your anxiety, it will subside. Because your anxiety is fed by kind of your attention and your involvement. If you kind of, because it always needs some fuel. That's a fire that constantly needs some oxygen, you know. And normally in the mode of person, in this kind of body-mind person functioning, we are constantly providing this oxygen. How it happens, maybe we simply feel some anxiety which we don't know where it comes from, yeah. But then a certain thoughts start appearing, you know, about this and that, and somehow we create a story from this feeling, yes. And then we start imagining that things like this could possibly happen, you see. And by this story, we are again, by this entanglement, we are giving so much fuel and oxygen to this anxiety. And stepping out of it is a really ultimate medicine. Not everyone can do it, you know. It requires some maturity, some trust also. Yes, you have to trust really that this is gonna help you, you know. But once you step out of it and you stop fueling it, it will subside. Yeah. Sometimes even like this, you know, it kind of is gone, you know. Yeah. Sometimes for some people, they have these anxious tendencies. It takes years, you know, of this type of practice. Yeah. But some result is felt immediately, actually.
Can I ask something? Because like for me, it was like this, I felt like the observer didn't care at all.
Yes.
And you know, like as you also mentioned, like it's very powerful when like we're talking about, you know, if there's like some pain or like insult that like, you know, you're taking in. But I felt like it didn't even care about the beauty, about the positive things. It was just there, and to me it was like confusing, like why? Like I like the idea about like, you know, zooming out and like, yeah, but like it's like negativity, but like the positivity, it was like still, it was like it didn't care, and I felt so distant from this observer. I wasn't sure I quite get it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, so.
You see, this is also like a part of some kind of strangeness that happens initially when you step out of your mind and all of its judgments and everything. Then this simple state, which is actually so very natural and simple, it somehow feels foreign. It feels like something new, something unknown, and so on, yes. You cannot describe it yet with your previous evaluation. But the thing is that at the very base, the observer is neutral, yes. And neutrality is something just like space, you see. For example, this room It's a space here, yeah. And the space in this room, it doesn't care really if 14 people are present, or only maybe Matcha, our dog, is present, yes. Or maybe someone is behaving badly, yes, and disrespectfully. The space itself is just this pure allowing. And in the same way, the witness is also like that. It is this kind of pure allowing sense inside of you, which is your true nature. And what it does really in your life, when you start kind of feeling it, being it, yes, it just gives you so much space, yes, because it won't stop your mind, and it won't stop your expression. If in this lifetime, for example, you have a certain sympathies towards some kind of things, I don't know, you like maybe pottery, or you like dancing, or you like writing stories, or you like making money, or you like whatever, it's not gonna erase this like, yeah, because this is a part of this body-mind functioning that is sort of, I know some people would have a resistance towards this term, but I would use it anyway. It's destined in a way. It's already functioning within us, We cannot really choose what we like or dislike. It is really comes into us by the power of karma, meaning by the power of the actions that has created this body, you see. And these things, these will not become insignificant, or somehow you will not become neglectful, yes, but there will be just more and more and more space in you, yes. And this witnessing power, with time, it will start to feel supernatural. You will just feel as you're the most natural self.
So would you say that, as you mentioned karma and destiny, like, do you think, like, if you would have to describe this, like, witness, like, would you give it a name, your soul? Is that, like, what it is at the end of the day?
These are just words at the end of the day. Yes, I'm a teacher, a very beautiful teacher, Ramdas, American teacher who passed away a couple of years ago. He used the word soul, for example. Yeah. But it's just a word. It's often said that it's pure consciousness. Yeah. It's described as this self. Yeah. As true self. Some in Hindu they would say. Buddhists would use the term emptiness. Yes. Christian mystics and Sufi mystics would say that it is your God self, the God expressing within you. Yeah. So there are different ways how to describe it. Yeah. But itself, originally, it has no name. It's just like space. Yeah. It just is. Yeah. The space in this room, it just is. It doesn't go by any name.
my thoughts when I'm thinking, I can only observe in the past.
Ah, I see.
I hope that makes sense.
Yes, it totally does. You can only acknowledge, I was thinking this and that,
Yeah, exactly.
after it
Yeah.
has happened. It takes a little bit of time to be established in this presence. Yeah, because how it happens is just simply you probably get entangled with the thoughts when they come. The beauty of this witnessing presence is that somehow it grows stronger and stronger, yes. And what you can do is you can simply even observe the fact of being entangled with thoughts. Imagine, like even that when you seemingly get entangled, there is still an observing presence within you that knows that you are entangled. You know? And this just, that simple practice, I don't want to even call it a practice, but it's a constant acknowledgement of this, which you can do while you are having your meal or you're sitting down with your friend and having a conversation, or
Just
you
being present.
yes, and just being simply aware of everything. Yes, not something specific, but just being here. Yes, it's super simple, and this is so subtle. I will tell you this. The subtlety of this is that it even can witness the deep sleep. Because when you go to bed, let's say, and then comes this total blackout, the mind subsides, yes, and there's zero activity, there's complete void, you know. There is something within us that knows this void even, right? Because if you had a good night's sleep, where you had no dreams, for example, where there was just this pure void, you know, you went to sleep and, yeah, blackout, complete blackout. You wake up, you know this, that, wow, I was sleeping in such a deep sleep, you know. Therefore, the witnessing power is even so subtle that it can witness even that, you see. Yeah. You think it can die? This witnessing power, can it die? The very first and the most subtle witnessing power. Or is it the one that is witnessing both being born and dying?
What?
Is that a question?
I asked, could it die?
No.
This you feel by your intuition, yes? It's beautiful.
Can I ask where is it?
Where is it?
Where is it?
This you have to find out for yourself. This is your kind of reading. Where is space? Where is space? Like the space in which all of this exists. Where?
This one.
Everywhere you go.
Everyone.
Everywhere, yes. That's why some people say that God is everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes. That God is everywhere and in everything. This is what can take away the fear of dying. When you really know that this is what I am, that I'm in my essence, I'm like this space. Anything that is existing inside of this space is perishable. Each object will come to an end. But will the space come to an end?
Can I ask a question?
Please.
So, the space, or pure consciousness, or soul, right? Do you think it has its own will?
That's a very good question. There certainly is an intelligence in this, yeah, which is kind of directing gently. There is this intelligent power, yes, inside of this, which nourishes everything also. But I don't think it has its own will like human beings do, you see.
Not like the ego.
Not like the ego, yes. It is just like this sustaining power, which just is simply sustaining all the things that exist in it and can be witnessed by it. Yeah. And it is a very calming and nourishing presence, you know. Because when human beings are very strongly associated with the body, mind and their person, and they do a lot of ugly things, you know. You see, all the evil is coming from that, actually. On the other hand, you know, what is God's will, you know? I don't think God has will in this sense, you know. But it is still giving intelligence to everyone who is just acknowledging it, you know. Because if you acknowledge yourself as this witnessing presence, there's a wisdom there. There is the wisdom that doesn't belong to you personally. Sometimes you know things, or you sense things through this, yeah? And you can find good solutions to just some earthly problems by being with this. So if there is an intelligence, there is certain subtle will, but not the will like we're gonna go there, you know. This is the right course. Yeah, not like that.
Sure, but like in this quality, there's a lot of spaciousness and caring, like natural caring, and at the same time, if experience a certain, like more distant kind of feeling towards life, which is probably the stepping out, which is closer than ever in a sense, but also more distant. And then when I compare it to being more engaged, like, you know, just having fun with friends and like or dancing really hard or something like that when you're more engaged in life. So it feels different in a sense. So something like, and I also can share that like I had a very close person of mine that like told me he feels that I'm more distant when I feel like the closest. So I just wonder about this distance and closeness in this state.
We confuse often being close to being attached. Yes. It's not the same thing. Because what this witnessing power gives you, it gives you some kind of purity when you are with people. No, because you're much more often you're intentionless. You can simply be with people, with your friends, yes, and just really enjoy what is presented by life. And you don't have so much like any particular agenda. And sometimes for some people who don't sense this in their own heart, yes, it can feel like cold or distant. Yeah. It's not like that in truth, really.
Yeah, that's what I feel. Like it can come out as cold, or it's like the closest I feel. And when I'm very warm, then I'm also more attached, engaged.
Yes. But you see this warmth, it actually, it is like that a witnessing presence is warm. Yeah. But it is certainly not pleasing. Yeah. And it is not needy. And often people, sometimes our closest people, actually, they want us to be needy, you know. They want us to kind of need something from them. This is how they make their bond, you know, yes. And once you don't need anything from them, like in this needy sense, they say, what's happening with you? You're so cold, you know. But you're not cold. You're actually in your warmest, maybe. Yes, warmest than you ever been. Yeah. But this is a bit different from how the mind behaves.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming. Yes.
I wanted to ask for sharing, like, so I've been studying non-duality for like a few years now, like with a teacher and also like books. And I think what I want to ask or share about is like, I feel like sometimes I am here in this spaciousness.
Yes.
Yes. And other time I conceptualize it, and I make, even now in the I think the whole meditation, there was like a lot of effort to go there, and even effort to let go. Like I know I should just let go, and it comes naturally, and then like effort becomes like a super sticky thing, and then only at the end I was like, you know, like just surrendering to it, and now I feel this, and just I want to share, and also like when I feel this effort, it really feels restlessness, you know. So yeah.
What you can is just to really broaden your view and really deeply accept everything, because the true non-duality it's not something specific, you know. The non-dual understanding is not a specific knowledge, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have been taught by some teachers sometimes that it is a very particular state that we should kind of chase even. Yes.
So I feel like I know this and still like I have this seeking mechanism inside of me.
Yes.
Even like what the silent knowing knows that this abides everything. Like even the effort, even the but like the still inside I sometimes it's interesting now it feels quiet. But just before it was like super restless, you know.
But what you can do is just this, when you totally become like surrendered, not in a specific way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. When everything that takes place in your life, every expression and everything is just it.
Yeah.
Yes. It's just it. Because there is nothing that can actually exist apart of it.
Yeah.
Yes. And we shouldn't say this to someone prematurely, you know, because then, you know, people, they are still very much in their ego, yes. And then they maybe start to feel that, ego is just also the part of it, you know. And this is what sometimes happens, yeah. But when you have investigated this deeply, you know, you can really see that there is nothing apart from that. Yeah. So therefore, there is no right or wrong way of being. Yeah. If effort comes, it's okay. You know, there's kind of a place for the effort, you know. Don't judge the effort. Yeah. It simply kind of means something within me wants to kind of some power is still not exhausted enough, you know. It wants to go
exactly.
on.
It's beautiful.
You see.
It just needs to exhaust itself, so it comes in a
because
natural. It's also natural.
And then you don't judge
it
the
is.
effort. Because these people often, what they do, they want to make some fixed image from this, you know, and then they would say, oh no, it should be effortless, you know. No, there's a place for effort, you know, in this beautiful expression, you know. An effort is just what? It's that, you know. It's myself playing. And then, some moments of intense kind of practicing. Why not? If it kind of really comes, and if you don't judge it, you see, if you don't feel that this is wrong, I shouldn't be practicing non-dual understanding, it's completely effortless, you know, beyond practice. No, don't do this. You allow practicing to happen. You know?
It's so subtle, you know, because I'm like, I know this place of surrender now, we talk about it, I'm like, of course. But then within the effort, it's like I use this place as like, you should let go now. Like, and then it becomes like a way to make effort and just really, you're right about even letting this just be. But no. It's interesting. I really saw now that like the belief, like as you said about you can do this the right or the wrong way, either practice or life. Like it is present within, like, I can see it as a belief, but I can also say like I believe it. Yeah, so just interesting to notice, like, okay, it's here, yeah. Like something to
Essentially, you don't have to give up anything. Yes. You just have to give up the notion that there is some kind of fixed right or wrong in this.
yeah.
Because there is, like, you see, in a human experience, in human expression, there is a time when there is a need for kind of some kind of sense of suffering, you know, again, to kind of accelerate this seeing, you know. And this should be also taken in as just a part of the great dance, you know. And this is very liberating, right? To feel this. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's even like, no, it's even feels like silly in a good way. Like, that you can drop it and then like, okay, you have more air, you have more space. Then like the whole big deal was about that. It's too simple, you know. Yeah.